and welcome to Chuck's Culture Channel, your one-stop YouTube shop for lively conversation on the lively arts in St. Louis and beyond. And in this episode, we're catching up with film, stage, and concert artist John Lloyd Young. You may know him best for his multi-award-winning performance as Frankie Valli in Jersey Boys on Broadway and on film, but he's also a visual artist, activist, and a multilingual singer in Spanish, Mandarin, Hebrew, and Italian. So, all of that and more in the interview right after this bit of video.
All right. Okay. Working my way back to you, babe, with a burning love inside. Yeah, I'm working my way back to you, babe, and a happiness that died, I let it get away. Been paying every day. When you were so in love with me, I played around like I was free. Thought I could have my cake and eat it too. How I cried over losing you. See me down and out, but I ain't about to go living my life without you. Oh, for every day I made you cry, I'm begging, girl, till the day that I die. I keep working my way back to you, babe, with a burning love inside. Yeah, I'm working my way back to you, babe, and the happiness that died, I let it get away.
Okay, well, there's a bit of video of John Lloyd Young, and here's more of him live. John, welcome to Chuck's Culture Channel.
Hey, I'm excited to be coming back to the Blue Strawberry.
Oh, that's the first thing I was going to mention. You're going to be at the Blue Strawberry here in St. Louis.
Well, I can't. I mean, it's right behind you. I can't not notice this. Right?
Yes, virtually speaking, yes. But it's May. Now, it's as we're recording this, it's coming up May 8th and 9th of 2024.
Right.
If it's after that or you're not in St. Louis, well, I will have a link down here in the video description field of all the other places you're going to be and the other things you're doing, so people can check all of that out.
Well, that's great. That's so kind of you. Thanks for doing that.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about, for those benighted among us who have not seen your show, tell us a little bit about what it's going to be like.
Well, this show, so I do a couple shows. I had an interesting sort of entry into singing, right? Because my first big break in the business was, of course, Jersey Boys, which was a Broadway show.
Award-winning, yeah.
And now especially, we might not have known it when it first started, but now it's a classic. It's been all over the world, and so the time has told the tale that Jersey Boys is one of those shows that you can't beat with a stick. So it was a big deal, and became a big thing that almost everybody's heard about. But it was a Broadway show, and I won a Tony Award, which is a very Broadway-centric award.
Oh yeah.
But the music was pop music from 40 years before it even became a Broadway show. This music was just part of the tapestry of America. So my entry into entertainment was kind of two-pronged. It was someone who became known as, an expert at interpreting this genre of music, but also a Tony winner from a Broadway show. So sometimes I do a Broadway set because they have a Broadway series and they have someone who has a Tony Award and they want to hear Jersey Boys, but they also want to hear Roger Hammerstein or Stephen Sondheim. This isn't that show. This is the show that, this is the show that, although there will be Jersey Boys in this show, always is, and I often do, let's say, as a nod to my Broadway history, in this show, which is golden era, biggest songs that you could think of from the golden era, and I'll tell you a few of the titles in a minute, but I always try to start off the show at least with a Broadway song that maybe has a golden era twist. So there's a favorite Broadway song that I have, but it's a Tom Jones arrangement. So it's like, it's a different spin, and it's my wink at the beginning of this kind of a set to my history. But then we roll out, I mean, some of the greatest songs ever sung. One of the things that is really kind of cool about the Broadway brand promise is that they tell you get a live performance. As you and I both know, and the whole world knows, a lot of singing nowadays does not have to be sounds that the singer's actually making. There's a lot of technology on top of it. What I love, what I love as a Broadway singer, as a live singer, is that the genre of music around the time period of Jersey Boys. So I'm talking Orbison, I'm talking Righteous Brothers, Smokey Robinson. Those guys could really sing those songs. There was no technology to save them. So if you have an otherworldly falsetto like those guys, and can do it live, I like to bring out this set in front of live audiences, so that especially in small rooms like the Blue Strawberry where you can't hide, where they can hear someone who can still do that. It seems to me like maybe it's a skill that not a lot of people are going to have anymore. And so I find it to be a super privilege to sing those really fantastic songs that were sung the real way when they were introduced. And to be a younger guy coming out and singing these songs, and so many of these songs. You see a Smokey Robinson show, you hear Smokey Robinson singing Smokey Robinson, but I get to cherry pick my favorites of all of those and do it in one concert. So I like to just pull out all the stops, and I'm looking at my set now for this one. So I've got some platters, and I have some Orbison and Righteous Brothers, some Paul McCartney. So these are just songs that I love, timeless songs that I think mean something to all of us. By the time they were, that I was listening to music, they were already part of American culture. So they're songs I've always known, but they're songs I'm sure you always have known. And so it's just an opportunity to go out and sing them live, which I don't think you get almost anywhere anymore.
Not in enough places, certainly. And not in enough places where there's not a huge overlay of technology, as you said. I mean, the Blue Strawberry, places like that, you've got a mic, and that's it.
Right. And the Blue Strawberry is like a jazz club. And so I kind of think of, I'm interpreting a music that is acoustic, right? So it's a good fit for a jazz club, and you're like, wow, I didn't know that falsetto could seem that easy. I'm not straining and bursting a blood vessel in my forehead to sing these songs. But it's just something that for me is one of those areas that is now, I would hate to say easy, because I have to still be really strict as a singer. But after all these years, you start out singing Frankie Valli songs 8 shows a week almost 20 years ago. That's the best training you could ever need for live singing in any space, for the rest of your life. Yeah,
your head voice and your falsetto will get really strong in that. Often
it's a strange skill, but it's oddly thrilling to do, and I think it's thrilling to listen to.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting, historically, that high male voice thing is, you hear it a lot in pop music, especially from the 50s and beyond, and of course, and also R&B and soul. It's always been there, but it actually has, this is a digression, but it has really a long history in Western music. It goes all the way back, really, to the 16th and 17th century in opera.
Oh, sure.
As well.
With the countertenors,
the castrati, which fortunately we know.
Which unfortunately fortunately I didn't have to go that route.
Right.
But I'll tell you another thing that's interesting, perhaps, to somebody who would come let's say somebody who would be drawn to this set that I do because of Jersey Boys or because they know that I can sing that genre, there's some surprises in the set too. And a lot of people don't know this. And now you mentioned castrati. Okay. Well, castrati, obviously, and people know, in order to hit those notes, had to have some intervention. But people who are falsetto singers in this modern way, very few of us are actually tenors. Most of us are baritones, and there's something about the length of the chords. Like on a stringed instrument, the longer the chord, the more variations of frequencies you can get. So most of us are baritones. Frankie Valli's a baritone, and so some of the songs in my set, for somebody who thinks I'm going to be singing all these falsetto songs, are kind of surprising. There's some songs that are pretty meaty and, you know, lower in the voice, and I bring that out. I bring that out to play too. I mean, I'm really drawn to soul music, and Frankie Valli even said about himself, which I was surprised he said it, but then I thought about it and I was like, yeah, he's right. Frankie Valli called himself a soul singer, and I think if you really get under the lyric with some of those songs, you know, it's a little harder in falsetto to sound like to really dig into your soul. There, it's a different sound, but yeah, there's some stuff in this set that's a lot lower in the voice than you might imagine.
You do a lot of other things, though. We were talking before we hit the record button. You have, frankly, an amazing CV. I mean, I read your bio on the website, and not only are you a singer and you know, and an actor, but you're also an activist. You're involved in a lot of charitable causes, and you're a visual artist. Now that's
do a lot of stuff.
And you have a brown belt in the, what is it again? You have a brown belt in a martial art, and
Shaolin temple style, old world Chinese style Kung Fu.
Okay,
so you know, I guess if you come to my shows and you think you might heckle, you know, be careful. Not really.
But I mean, that's amazing.
I'll tell you, yeah, on the charitable side, I mean, just the day before or a couple days before these concerts at the Blue Strawberry, I'm starting off in Des Moines because I go there every year to my favorite cause. Actually, it's become my favorite cause. Des Moines has me do my friends there have me do a benefit concert every year for this program that they have in Iowa that is an arts mentorship program for arts and fine arts and music teachers. It pairs recently retired teachers with first and second year arts teachers. So now imagine you're in some rural county and you're the only arts teacher in the whole county and you're 23 years old. You've got somebody who's been through the trenches that helps you through those first 2 years of your career as an arts teacher. And this is a statewide program. And I go and I do these songs for an audience there to raise money so that they fund themselves for the next year. And I go every year. So yes, that's one thing that I'm really interested in.
Okay.
That involves the singing.
But
it leverages my singing to a good cause. Yeah.
But the visual art, I mean, this is an unusual sideline, I guess. Well, it's not really a sideline anymore, is it? It sounds like something you're doing.
Pretty consistent. Yeah. It's pretty consistent. I mean, you know, in any arts career, you've got, let's say, if you're lucky enough to have a sort of a pie chart of different things that you do at any one time, you know, if you make movies, there are auditions coming, and you move to another quadrant of the things you do. And I always knew intuitively, I always knew that, you know, even when I was a kid dreaming of being an entertainer someday, I always knew that there'd be moments of downtime. And what am I going to do? I'm a very kind of energetic person. I need busy work. And so the artwork came pretty naturally. And then after Jersey Boys happened, moved out to LA, and I've made some friends and opportunities to start showing my art. And now that's years and years ago. Actually, the first art show I had was to benefit a charity. And then I started selling pieces, and that's never stopped. So it's been a really happy and surprising other side of things.
That's great. And finally, I don't want to presume on your time too much, but the other thing I really was struck by in your bio is that you're educated in both here and in Spain, in Salamanca, and you speak fluent Spanish, right? And you also apparently
Sure do.
I think you speak and write Mandarin and sing in Chinese as well.
I say, I think I have a really good ear, which is why I've been able to do these wonderful and challenging songs for my whole career. Now for 20 years, I've been doing this stuff, but I think I just have a musician's ear because I also pick up languages very easily and sing in many. And sometimes in a show, I'll insert a song in another language. So I sing songs in Mandarin, Spanish, Italian, Hebrew. There's a damn good version of Hatikva on YouTube that is my version in Hebrew. So go check it out. I think it's gut-wrenching and beautiful, but yeah. Before we go, do you think it'd have any interest to the audience to just for me to rattle off maybe like 3 or 4 of the song titles that they're likely to hear?
No, I think that would be great.
Okay. So I got In the Still of the Night, Show and Tell, Unchained Melody, Can't Take My Eyes Off You, and then some other surprises. So that's just a little, I don't want to give it all away.
Well, and of course, some of that is on your one solo album that I could find from 2014, right?
My Turn, yeah, and a lot of I always sing some of the highlights from that album in my shows.
Okay, and that's a great album, folks. And that too, there'll be a Spotify link to that in the field below. So again, thanks so much for being here, everybody watching this. Hey, listen, I don't accept paid ads for this, so the way I get the word out is for you to tell your friends and direct them to Chuck's Culture Channel on YouTube. Thanks. John, thank you very much. Have a good day.
It's been a pleasure. You too.
Bye-bye.
I got it.